So here's the deal. We realized that we had quite a few things broken on the OBS, so we're trying to fix that a little bit. But we got back into playing. We essentially got back into playing shooter games because one of the bosses at my job was asking me to play. So I started playing. We tested some things out. We tried a few things. I do think the game feels a little better than something like Call of Duty. It's not necessarily something that I like, but it feels a little bit better in the sense that I think COD is a little bit too sporadic. This one's a little bit more slowed down, but I don't think it's bad. The deal is though is that we adjusted our settings and stuff to improve the other day. We did a number of changes the other day on the gameplay control test tuning. And since it's been like 5 years or something since I played an actual shooter game, I kind of overdid it somehow, and my right hand, which I use for my mouse, got so worn out for some reason that I couldn't move my mouse towards the end of the game that we played. And that was like a 6 hour session. So my left hand was cramping a bit from all of the keep pressing, which happened when I used to play like Call of Duty games. But my actual mouse hand ended up getting like super worn out just from aiming and moving my mouse around. So I don't know if I can keep playing the games or not. Like today, I wouldn't mind playing, but my hand is still a little bit worn out. But it does seem like there's some very powerful weapons in this game. But maybe like you don't have the plate system from COD, so you don't have to deal with people like getting all their health back super quickly besides the characters that heal. And you don't have to deal with like how to explain it exactly. I mean, you don't have skill-based matchmaking, which can be a benefit just for the enjoyment of a game. I don't feel like I'm as concerned about like playing crazy when I know that everyone I'm playing with are random for the most part. The movement and stuff in the game, like you can do a bunch of bouncing, bunny hopping, all that stuff. But they have penalties for doing it too much, which seems good. And then they have the attachments. I feel like pretty much all of the guns and stuff should just rock the best attachments, which would be like movement speed and things. Because usually in games like this, movement speed attachments and quick mags, reloading fast, moving fast, aiming fast. That's pretty all, or like hip fire stuff seems to be the gist of what makes most guns good in those games. This game, it's still kind of true, but since you can see there's a drastic difference between like assault rifles and like SMGs, for instance. So when you're using them, it's kind of hard to say when's the best time to do it because with the tests that we've did so far, when I was playing like standard, uh, I was getting much higher KDAs, and then when I started jump moving and stuff all the time, I lost a whole lot more. My KDAs went negative terribly because I was slide jumping, canceling, bunny hopping, all that stuff with like assault rifles and things with attachments that didn't give me movement speed. So if you don't have that momentum, your character really doesn't move that far and it doesn't help you that much. Um, but after you get like movement speed attachments, it's a lot better to use the movement speed abilities. But when you're fighting like guns that are in this game, there's like a very big difference that you can tell between the guns that you fight. So like the MP7s, the SMGs, the shotguns, the ACR, the AKs, the snipers, you can all tell that they are good and they'll beat your gun out in a direct fight like 90% of the time. But I think this is kind of where some things lie in, because if you're using movement, if you're using like movement dodging, bunny hopping, slide canceling, all that good stuff, and you have like an assault rifle, but you're going up against SMG characters, you can't really aggressively push into corners and stuff against the SMGs because they're just going to win in those close quarters fights. They move faster than you because they're SMGs. They have faster movement speed and they have faster time to kills and all those stuff at those ranges. So you can't necessarily rely purely on your movement to beat those people. But if you have an assault rifle, for instance, you can still sort of push those corners, but you can also kind of pull back and force them to come to you. So there's a little bit more flexibility, I think, than most games. The biggest bonus that I could give xdefiant over pretty much most games. The only other game that I can see this next thing I'm going to talk about working has been Escape from Tarkov, and that's been LMGs. Every other game, for the most part, LMGs don't really do anything for you. They slow you down. They don't really do much. And Escape from Tarkov, they're good because bullets are so deadly in that game that you can't really afford to peek it or whatnot. And this game, the LMGs are kind of usable. They remind me a little bit more of Modern Warfare 1 and 2, I believe. And those games, LMGs could actually be pretty decent in the COD games because I think the movement abilities weren't as good, I think, back then, if I recall. And so the LMG had more of a purpose because it was able to hold down an area pretty well. The only thing with this game is that the sniper rifles are still really strong. So a lot of movement-based games or any game that has a sniper rifle, the snipers are super strong. And anyone online that says that the snipers can't be used close range because they're terrible, they're lying. All right, people with snipers that are good in this game with snipers will one tap you at close range. Everyone's saying that you get one sniped at close range because you're bad at the game because of snipers and stuff. That's lies, because any game like that with a one-shot sniper, if you're good enough with the sniper, you're going to win because one shot beats however many other shots, and the sniper can use it from long range to short range. It just depends on if you hit your shot or not. Now, the I guess the game devs are putting in like flinch, so like when you get hit, the flinch like makes the sniper pop off really well. But the problem is that that doesn't really give you it's not that bad on snipers. No matter how much flinch you put on the sniper, really good sniper players, they're going to be able to like quick shot people. So they're going to go whoop and then just aim down out of the flinch and one tap you. That's generally what happens. But the uh the game, the time to kill, especially long distance, isn't fast enough to really kill a sniper with an AR or something at range. So a sniper is going to get two, three, four chances to hit you one time with a sniper rifle before you have any chance to really kill them at a distance for the most part, unless they're like aggressively trying to peek you or something. And any one of those shots can kill you. The only real weakness to that, for them anyway, is that if you can avoid their shots and bait shots out, they don't have the fire rate to hold down multiple people, even though they do have marksman rifles in this game, which can potentially hold down multiple people because they can two-shot kill. Um, you're able to kind of outmaneuver snipers in a sense if you really wanted to, but the problem with that is still, no matter what your movement ability is in the game, the ball is always in the sniper's court because the only way they lose is if they miss. And you can even see, like in some of the gameplay footage from the other day, that when you go in and you're fighting these guys, you can get them to miss, but they can get 2, 3, 4 rounds off, pretty easily at the very beginning, and you can't just rush them because they reload so fast. So you're trying to rush these guys down. Every time that they take a shot at you, you get a 50-50 chance living or dying. And it's always going to be their aim that does that. No matter how good you move, there's not anything that you can do to really negate the fact that you're going to get one-tapped if they hit you. So I don't know how I feel about the snipers in the game. I know Modern Warfare had snipers, but I don't remember if it was a one-shot kill or not. It probably was. But yeah, snipers are just strong in most games. I don't necessarily have a problem with the snipers being good either. I just think that there should be some sort of counterplay to it. What I would like to see is like if you have an LMG or an assault rifle or something, and there's a sniper off in the distance, and you shoot at them, and you get like 3 hits on them, they should have like that jumping sway when you jump too much and your weapon starts like going all over the place or something. There should be like a massive penalty for them like getting shot at and hit at a distance to kind of affect them, so they have to hit their shots better. But other than that, we might try to play a couple. We leveled up quite a few guns the other day though. So we still got all of our M4s. I don't remember which M4 we were testing. I think this was the last one that we tested, because this was all accuracy optics, and then this one is the movement speed rapid fire. So I don't remember which one that we were messing with the most with these. This barrel extender one is probably one we'll end up scrapping, but this is one of the first ones that we used. Go up to 65 meters, 16 damage. It just doesn't do as much as some of the other guns. Like, it fires faster than like the ACR, but the ACR can go pretty far without the extra attachments for the most part. And the ACR was the last gun that we were upgrading the other day. So we're doing chrome line with the muzzle boost. You can notice a drastic difference between muzzle boost and no muzzle boost. So it's kind of weird in that sense, because it only gives you like 20, 21 extra RPMs, or no, right here it says like 16 extra RPMs, but we're pushing right up to that 60 meters. But you see the M4 is at 16 shots, and this is at 19 shots. So this is going to take 6 shots to kill. If you're playing the fire faction, though, it'd still be 5 shots to kill at medium range. But the M4 at 16 damage. I'm just going to pull up a calculator because my head isn't mathing right now. 16 damage is going to be like 7 rounds. And that's with people with 100 health. The guys with 120 health, you're already looking like 8, 9 rounds probably. So there's a lot of stuff. But this gun was actually doing pretty well for us the other day when we started using it. But we leveled up the low vac quite a bit, which is where a lot of this was coming in. And honestly, this gun felt very good for the most part. And we were using a lot of movement speed attachments. But what I noticed essentially is right here, you can see like the ADS speed reduction was 212.5. Movement speed at 1, movement speed at 1.1. So like even if we leave and then come back, movement speed at 1, movement speed at 1.1. So it seems like there's a cap that doesn't let your gun go over a certain rate. So we don't necessarily need the super light at this point. And this gun in particular, since its fire rate is so high, it kind of works pretty well in close quarters like an SMG hip fire. So we get quite a lot of movement speed with this, and then we have extra shooting speed with the muzzle booster, which is noticeable. But the rapid fire barrel, didn't really seem as important as the movement speed on this gun, because being able to move in and out um, was very good. Because like if you're going up against SMGs, having the movement speed allows you to kind of count around. Going up against ARs, you kind of have the same thing where you can kind of count around a little bit, and it does shrink your hipfire spread pretty drastically. The only problem with this, I would say, is that I really liked the extended mag on this gun, but as soon as you put the extended mag on, it negates your movement speed bonuses. And the only way to get the extended mag back is to drop the lightweight stock and then equip the magazine, or you have to unequip the optic. But basically, you're just bringing all your movement speed back down to baseline if you do that. But if you do, the 15 rounds feel really good. And that's how we were leveling it up the other day. We were destroying people with hip fire close range because we had the extra 15 rounds, and you were destroying people at decent ranges past that because of the extra 15 rounds. 50% increase in magazine size is basically what you got to like decide when you do these things. And this gun, it actually looks pretty good compared to other guns. So you get that reload speed minus 15%. And then the movement speed is probably the biggest penalty, but 15% on the reload speed isn't that big of a deal. Because you got to think, like, even like this ACR, we were running the extended mag the other day for a little bit, and you're doubling the amount, or not doubling, you're 50% increase on your ammo. So like the ACR takes 5-6 rounds to kill, and you're adding additional 15, so you could potentially kill an additional 2 or 3 players with the extended mag before you have to reload, compared to like having this quick mag. You have the potential to kill one additional person, and you get a faster reload. So, yeah, should you be able to kill 6 people fairly easily? Sure, but it's not, that big of a deal. When you got 15 rounds, you can kind of pressure people quite a lot, and you don't have to worry about reloading as much. But for this, I don't really have an interest in any of these because they look weird. I might, the lightweight stock would probably be the best. I think for most of these guns, the lightweight stock and like the movement speed barrel, the rapid fire muzzle booster attachment, they all seem very, very strong. This gun in particular, though, because it just isn't good close range, because it doesn't. I mean, it can handle itself close range, but it does not shoot super quickly. So it isn't really going to benefit as much versus the movement speed, I don't think, or the hip fire attachments and stuff. Like, you could use it like that, but I think this is much more of a long range gun. The rapid fire barrel, though, I don't know if it'll improve it or not, because we can already see that we boosted this up almost 10 meters. Now we boosted this up almost 7 meters, basically, just from the base standard. So I'm kind of interested to see this. I think a long-range build with this, with the fire people as your operator, could potentially be interesting, because you can get this up to like 60 meters on the 19 damage mark, which means like at a pretty long distance on the map, you're going to be able to hit people for 5 and kill them with the, 5 shot kills basically on all those. And what's really interesting about that is that with the fire guys, if you have the ghost recon people on the enemy team, 5 rounds from this is going to be doing 105 damage, and then you have that 10 burn, so you'd be 5 health off basically. But with this at medium range, you're going to have like 95 or something, and then it'll still kill them. And then at long range, this is going to be like 85 or something. So you'd be pretty close to just killing them off with any of the burn damage. But I think Chrome Lined is probably pretty good We tried the heavy barrel. It also seems pretty interesting because it boosts everything up by 1 damage. And I think if you did this with the fire guys, this is 5 rounds to kill flat. But if you do this with the fire dudes and you're going up against the ghost guys, this would be 110 damage with 5 shots, and then you'd have the burn that would kill them off. And then this at medium range would be 5-shot kills on most players. And then even at max range, 5 shots plus the burn damage would be enough to kill an average player, which is pretty good, I would say. But the problem with this is that it drops your fire rate by a lot, and we still have the boost on here. So you're losing, like 50 fire rate, which doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Longer range, it probably wouldn't be that big of a deal. But you could, for instance, like extend the duration out, get this 50 meters. So you get that additional 5, additional 3. But it still isn't really, like, I don't know how drastic this is. Like, you're getting an additional 2 damage. In like a 5-meter radius, so it's kind of hard to say. And we still need to level up the AK a bit as well. But we designed this AK just to look cool. This was just to look like the Tarkov. Like, when we make our AKs in Tarkov, we only keep them very simple, so like the padded stock, all that. So we kept everything here pretty simple as well, but we don't have any attachments really unlocked for yet. Basically those two, and then we need to do the M16 at some point. I think this was the movement speed test. Yeah, this is the ADS movement speed and ADS walking speed here with a lightweight attachments. So this gives us 104 walking speed, which is pretty nutty. Or 1.4 milliseconds walking speed. This is a pretty solid walking speed. Something like that. This is yeah, this is the rapid fire one. See, but you see, just with these 2 attachments here, so 2 attachments, you can get to that 1.1 pretty easily. And this is just with, so like, is using another attachment worth a 0.1 millisecond movement? I don't know. It's hard to say, especially since you're giving up like the rapid fire barrels. So you're getting increases of damage and increases of speed right here, which to me, I think would be better than this. Because this, you're getting increases in these 2 movement speed, and then you have 2 increases to this. So like if you change that, it's still 1.2. Drop that off, 1.1. So basically you can use one of these grips to increase this a little bit, and then you can put a booster on. But I don't think that's necessarily the best way to do it. But we need to level up the M4 as well, so, or the M16. M4 is doing all right. We need to do the AK, the ACR, the M16. I don't really like the Bulldog. I don't know if I want to level up the SMGs. Like, SMGs are strong, but I don't like the looks of SMGs in games. So, like this one, Vector and stuff. It's a good gun, but like I don't like the look of them in games. MP5 is about the only SMG style that I kind of like. Shotgun, I feel like upgrading it, but it just feels so cheesy to kill people with this. It's like using a sniper, but you get multiple rounds. So I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I kind of just want to level up this pump shotgun because of the pump shotgun, but the LMGs I like a lot. But I don't know if I would necessarily care about the M60. 100-round magazine has higher damage, but this one has, I think like 200 or something. Maybe it's still 100. These two would probably be the two that I like the most. RPK we used a little bit, but yeah. SVD I know is strong because I get tapped by this thing all the time. And this thing's strong as well, but I don't really care about all the snipers and marksmen in this game. Probably do M4, M16, I mean. Yeah, my whole hand is absolutely shredded from yesterday. Oh, probably we might try to do like a couple of matches maybe. I have muscles in my hand that I didn't even think existed that just hurt today. Overall, though, I think the game is pretty good. It's to me, it's a bit more enjoyable than Call of Duty. Because like the Call of Duty games, it seems like you're pretty much always forced into using, I don't know, like the Call of Duty games always force you to use like a certain attachment for the most part because either how the maps are designed or just how the games are, like the Battle Royale games and stuff, you kind of get shoehorned into using certain weapons. But you also have to slide cancel and jump 24/7 in those games, which is why I don't like playing them that much. This one, like, at least you can there's like the maps are big enough to where you can kind of have a break, like a short break of not needing to do that. Whereas like Battle Royale games and stuff, if you don't, you just get like one tap from a sniper you weren't paying attention to. But we'll see what happens. And we still got to level up these commandos because I want this last guy here, I think, is what I'm aiming for. Let's do the ACR. But yeah, that last character model is what I'm aiming for.
Combat's already underway. Attack and take the zones.
Cover me. Shield out.
Also, they have a lot of game modes. That's where the movement speed comes into play, though. But my hand's hurting so bad, I don't think I can keep sliding and stuff.
Capture zone secured. Progress update. New capture zone unlocked. Enemy operator neutralized.
Yeah, there's a lot of different game modes on this as well, which makes it feel a little bit better. Kind of freshens up the matches a little bit.
One sticky.
Final capture zones available.
Reloading. Cover me.
Yeah, there's a lot of like changes that you can make.
Setting crossfire. Activating Egypt.
Setting a prox here.
Frag out.
Yeah, although my wrist can't really take doing all the movements
Changing
and stuff
objective.
today,
You're a defender.
I can still play slow in this game and not really be affected too much, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like I'm punished for being worn out or something. Like, I could come home from a day of work, sit down and play a couple matches if I wanted to, and not feel super, you know, sweaty about it. I think that's the real bonus to this game compared to most other ones. Like, even like shooter way, if I was like playing Star Citizen, for instance, I think it can compete with a lot of shooters. Or if I'm playing Scum, for instance, it can compete with a lot of shooters, but I can kind of do a lot more.
Neutralize the hostiles before they take all zones faster than we did.
Scanning for hostile.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Combat operations have started. Defend the zones.
What the hell is going on? Oh, there's a bunch of snipers everywhere. Gotcha. I gotcha. I would say the snipers are probably the biggest deal in this game. I want to go and put my barbed wire down, but I can't. I don't know what I did to my wrist the other day, though. I was feeling it. I was feeling good.
operations have started. Defend the zones.
Reloading.
Tango eliminated.
Reloading.
'Prevent the opposing force from taking our zones. This operation is ending soon.
Barrier deployed.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That was a hard push.
Be advised, you've achieved mission success.
A lot of people compare the game to Overwatch as well. I haven't really played Overwatch, I don't think. I had someone like have me play some shooter game that was popular. I don't think it was Valorant. I think it was something else on an Xbox a long time ago. But as far as I understand, Overwatch is kind of like League of Legends, where you have like champions with abilities. So I guess that's why they compare this game and that game together. And I think that's fine. But like we've seen with like Ubisoft with other games, it just seems like their class systems get out of whack too much. Like they put classes on all their games now, and it just eventually it ruins the game for me anyway. Because like Rainbow Six Siege, I get that you want it to be a competitive, um, like esport and stuff, but they just kept coming out with more and more and more new operators. Where like the starting operators like Capcan, which I played all the time, or like Pulse, they're not as fancy. They can't do all the crazy stuff the other ones do. Like they have people that just reveal the whole map for your whole team and stuff, or people that shut everything down. League of Legends has a lot of characters, but that one is a little bit different because it's not like, well, their characters, it is kind of the same with League of Legends, I guess. They come out with a lot of characters, and the new ones just keep getting more and more anime flashy because it's more interesting to watch than the older champions. So everything eventually gets like super crazy where you have to know like a billion different things, and check everything constantly, know what to play and all that. And then like imagine telling new players to like go play League of Legends and stuff. Like League is kind of a bad example because it's not as punishing, but if you go play a shooter game with like a billion classes and stuff you got to choose from, learn all the abilities and stuff, it feels a lot more punishing than League, where it's like you can go against those champions, but as long as you're gold farming and stuff and XP is good, like you'll do alright. God, my wrist hurts though. Pull out the M4.
Domination. This scenario is kinetic. Plan accordingly. Three, two, one. Capture all zones and keep them secure.
Level up the old M4.
I need first aid.
Enemy operator neutralized.
How the fuck?
Oh, it's sticky.
This is a very weird gun. Very weird gun indeed. I wonder what this does with the fire class. 3-round bursts, and it would, so it would trigger.
Hostiles on
Damn,
scene.
it's my
Intervene
clicker
immediately.
finger. It's literally the
Capture
my
zone
shooting
contested.
finger is the one that's getting it. Where'd my grenade go?
Just a run of bad luck, operator. Shake it off and apply your training.
It's literally my shooting finger that I can't.
Allied forces on Zone B.
Okay, that dude was just chilling in the corner back there the whole time.
Revenge kill. Capture zone contested.
I feel like playing a little slow. I'm not on my grind today.
Allied forces on Zone B.
Reloading.
Combat's underway, operator. Secure all zones. Hostiles on scene. Intervene immediately.
Oh, it's a weird gun.
Go for the face. Lay down a prox.
We're taking B. Combat's underway, operator. Secure all zones. Hostile forces have the advantage. Zone contested. Orders are to take all the zones and keep them secure.
Reloading. First aid. Sure would be nice.
We're taking B.
It takes a lot of fire to get rid of that.
Hostile down. Progress update. High probability of mission failure. Payback noted and warranted. Zone B is compromised.
Not sure how you handle the M4. I'd say maybe a heavy barrel.
We're taking B. A disappointing outcome.
Heavy barrel on the M4, maybe? I don't know exactly how I would do this. But no, it's literally my clicking finger from my mouse. Every time that I move my click for my hand, my wrist is hurting. So I think I clicked too much the other day. So I'll probably just rest my hand, maybe go ice it. Y'all guys have a good one. Yeah, I'll see y'all later. If I'm feeling a little bit better after I ice it, I might hop back on.